and name of the module is, it is a accounting standard 11. Accounting standard 11 belonging to accounting for change in foreign exchange rates. Now our module name is foreign currency conversions. Foreign currency conversions comes under accounting standard 11, and accounting standard 11 specifies accounting for change in foreign exchange rates. Now generally, now if you talk about the foreign exchange rates, every country has their own currency. If you take the examples of India, India's currency rupee. If you go European countries, their currency's name is euro. Americans currency's name is dollar. Then Britain currency's name is pound. Japanese currency's name is yen. Then Arabian countries currency name is dinar. So these are the currencies are different and their rates also different. Now friends, if you want to buy $1 American dollar, you have to pay 74 rupees. You have to pay 74 rupees. That means if you want to buy $1, you have to pay 74 rupees. It means our rupees value is less than the dollar's value. How many means $1, 74 rupees we have to pay. It means our rupees value is not a good value. It is a very less value as compared to dollars value. And because of this difference, exchange difference is there. Therefore, we will suffer certain losses. We will suffer certain earning also. And it is affected to our financial statements. Now, financial statements, you know that our final account. And what kinds of impact on our financial statements that we are going to learn under this particular chapter. We will study foreign currency conversion. Under this conversion, what kinds of impact, what kinds of effects are there because of the foreign exchange rates are different. Now, this particular accounting standard 11, that is accounting for change in foreign exchange rates. This particular accounting standard, it is applicable in India and it is applicable to all enterprises, all companies, those who are running their business in our country and they are registered under the Indian Companies Act 2013. Such company follows accounting standard 11. It means it is applicable to all enterprises, all companies in India. Now, whenever we will talk about the exchange rate, so what do you mean by exchange rate? Exchange rate means the home currencies per unit of foreign currencies. I already explained one example. If you want to buy $1, you should pay Indian rupee 74 rupees. It means if I want to take $1, I want to pay 74 rupees. So these are home currencies per unit of the foreign currency. It is called as a exchange rate. Now, home currency means what? Suppose I am living in India. So Indian currency is a rupee. So, and I am doing business in India. The home currency is rupee. And whenever I'm doing the business, I'm recording the books of records. I'm preparing the books of records, financial statement in my home currency, that is rupees. The home currency means the currency in which financial statements are prepared. Home currency means the currency in which financial statements are prepared. If you are doing business in Japan, you are doing business in Japan and you are preparing the financial statement, it means final account. Which currencies you have to use for showing the financial statements? That is yen. It means home currency is yen. So I hope you understood. The home currency means the currency in which financial statements are prepared. Now, one more concept is there, foreign currency. Foreign currency means other than home currency. For example, American dollar is a foreign currency. Then Britain's pound is a foreign currency. European countries, euro is a foreign currency. Japan countries, yen is a foreign currency. So what do you mean by foreign currency? Foreign currency means other than home currency, which is not our currency, which is other countries' currency. It is called foreign currency. You should know about this particular terminology because it is very important for whenever we will solve the practical problem, and sometimes we have to solve objective type of questions also. So we should know about the what do you mean by exchange rate, home currency, and foreign currency. The exchange rates means the home currencies per unit of foreign currency. Home currency means the currency in which financial statements are prepared. And foreign currency means the other than home currency. Am I clear? I hope you
Yes, sir.
understood.
Yes, sir.
Now, whenever we will talk about the US dollar, we will talk about the US dollars, today's per dollar rate, today's date is 16 August 2021. So today's per dollar rate is rupees 74.19. Today's, if you see the in Google, you have to type per per dollar rate in rupees. So you will get the answers 74.19. And every day the rate is fluctuating up and down, fluctuating. And this fluctuation, it is affected to our financial statements. It is quite difficult whenever we have to prepare our financial statement. Which rate we have to consider? Whether we have to consider today's rate, market rate, that these particular things, how we will sort out. And for that purpose, we will study this particular accounting standard 11. So these things we should keep in mind. And generally in our whole world, we accepted as a standard currency is a dollar, US dollar. Every country compare their currency with the US dollar. Even our country also compare our rupee with US dollar, and generally all countries accepted US dollar as a standard. I hope you understood what is going on. Now,
Yes.
exchange rate we have discussed. Now we have to think about the which rate we have to consider. If you consider closing rate, when we consider the closing rate means the rate at the end of the financial year is called closing rate. Now this particular rate we have to use of our balance sheet. Whenever we have to prepare our balance sheet, we have to consider closing rate. Closing rate means, suppose our year end is 31st March 2021. On the date of 31st March 2021, what was the rate of the rupees per dollar? Such rate we have to apply while preparing balance sheets. Now, what kinds of items we can use the closing rates that we will discuss. Now, one more rate is there, that is average rate. Rate, how we will consider the closing rate plus opening rate divided by 2. Closing rate, CR means closing rate, and OR means opening rate. Closing rate plus opening rate divided by 2, we will get average rate. Sometimes what happens, if our problem they are not provided, our problem they are not provided average rate, how we will find out closing rate and opening rate divided by 2. Closing rate plus opening rate divided by 2. If directly if they are provided the average rate, there is no problem. But if the average rate is not there, that time we have to use this particular formula. Then after that, whenever we will talk about the trial balance, what do you mean by trial balance? Can you give the answers? Unmute yourself and give the answers. Trial balance. It is not a new thing to you. You already aware about the meaning of the trial balance. Yes, what do you mean by trial balance? Yes. Unmute yourself and give the answer. Trial balance means what? Yes, Mr. Vinayak. What do you mean by trial balance? Vinayak?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Trial balance म्हणजे काय?
Sir, closing balance असतो ट्रायल बॅलन्स पण यूज करतो.
क्लोजिंग बॅलन्स कुठला क्लोजिंग बॅलन्स?
लास्ट इयर
कुठले लास्ट इयरचा?
मीन्स
क्लोजिंग बॅलन्स
30
कुठून आणला हा?
31st मार्च क्लोजिंग बॅलन्स.
क्लोजिंग बॅलन्स कुठून आणला? कुठल्या रेकॉर्ड मधून आणलेला असतो? You see that all at the end of the year, all ledgers we have to close, and each and every ledgers closing balance we have to transfer to trial balance. And trial balance we prepare. It is a summary of the closing balances of ledger. The trial balance is the summary of closing balances of ledger. I don't want to discuss what do you mean by ledger, but you are aware about the ledger. The ledger closing balances we have to transfer the trial balance, and this particular summary we have to prepare whenever we have to prepare our financial statement. Financial statement generally includes trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet generally. Now, in our when trial balance, there are three items we will record it. Three kinds of items we will record it. And real account, personal account, and nominal account. Is there are golden accounting rules? You know that you are aware about the golden accounting rules. Real account, personal account, and nominal account. You are aware about the golden accounting rules? Can you give the answers? Real account. What are the rules regarding the real account? Yes, any answer? Yes, Darshana. Real
Debit
account
what
rule.
comes and credit what goes out.
Debit.
Debit what comes in and credit what goes out.
Yes, right. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. What about the personal account? Yes, Rani, personal accounts rules. Personal accounts rules. Personal account, you are aware about, you studied in 11th standard.
Sir, debit the receiver, credit the giver.
Right. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. What about the nominal account? Yes, Miss Malak, nominal account rule.
Debit was all expenses and credit was debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains.
Income and gain.
Right. Debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Now, while preparing the trial balance and while considering this particular rule, we have to pass journal entry, real account rule, nominal account rule, and personal account rule. Now, real account, non-monetary items recorded. Monetary means what? Monetary means in terms of currency, in terms of rupees. Non-monetary. Now, non-monetary items means the balance sheet items, assets. Assets, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Asset comes in if you purchase the assets. Nominal account, we have to record it nominal items. Personal account, we have to record it monetary items. Now let us discuss this monetary items. What do you mean by exactly meaning of the monetary items? Means it is in terms of money. For example, anything which is receivable or payable in a fixed sum of money is called monetary items. Anything which is receivable or payable in a fixed sum of money is called monetary items. Now, monetary items, we will take the examples of the monetary items also. There are many examples of the monetary items. For example, debtors, creditors, bills receivable, bills payable, bank balance, bank overdraft, advances, loans, prepaid expenses, prepaid income, outstanding expenses, outstanding income. These are the examples of monetary items. I hope you understood what do you mean by monetary item. Sometime they may be asked in objectives. Monetary item means what? Sometime they can ask the question, outstanding expenses is a dash item. Your answer will be monetary item. Bank overdraft is a dash item. Answer monetary item. See that such type of question may become as a objectives. And monetary items means anything which is receivable or which is payable in a fixed sum of money. It is called as a monetary item. You should know about the examples: debtors, creditors, bills payable, bills receivable, bank balance, bank overdraft, advances, loans, prepaid expenses, incomes, outstanding expenses, income. These are the examples of the monetary items. Now, monetary items, now we should know about the non-monetary items also. So there are very uh, 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 there are certain examples of the non-monetary items that also we will discuss. What do you mean by non-monetary items? Which is not count in fixed sum of money. It means it is other than the monetary items. Other than the monetary items is called as a non-monetary items. It is not receivable, payable in a fixed sum of money is called non-monetary items. For examples, now what kinds of examples are there? Some of the examples, it may be plant and machinery. Then sometimes we can say that fixed assets, investments. These are the non-monetary items. Now, these non-monetary items we have to carry it on a historical cost. So what do you mean by historical cost? Historical cost. कोण सांगेल मला हिस्टॉरिकल कॉस्ट म्हणजे काय?
So depreciation.
No. See that if I purchase plant and machinery for rupees 1 lakh, so 1 lakh it is considered as a historical cost. 1 lakh is considered as a historical cost. If I give, if I depreciated this 1 lakh rupees, 10% depreciation we charge, and 1 lakh from this original cost of the plant and machinery, we deducted the 10,000 rupees depreciation. So such depreciation we can deduct it. Such depreciation we have deducted, and whatever WDV is there, written down value, it is called as a historical cost. And historical cost, we should know about the historical cost. Then fair value. Yes, what do you mean by fair value? Any idea? Fair value? See friends, non-monetary items we have to classify historical cost and fair value. Fair value means the market value. Fair value means the market value. Now, sometimes fixed assets and investments we record it in a historical cost or fair value. And this particular non-monetary items includes, for example, fixed assets, investments, stock, current investments. So these are the examples of the non-monetary items. The non-monetary items other than monetary items. It may be classified into two categories. It may be carried historical cost or fair value. For example, fixed assets, investments, stock, and current investment. Sometimes we have to put our closing stock. We have to put our closing stocks in a cost or market value, whichever is lower. Accounting standard 11 says that fair value also we should record it. How it will record it, that they will discuss in a near standards, but you should know about the which item is called as a non-monetary items. These are the examples. Now, whenever we will talk about the accounting standard 11, it is related to the foreign currency transactions. It is related to the foreign currency transaction. It is also foreign operations, and it includes forward exchange contracts. The accounting standard 11 discuss foreign currency transactions, foreign currency operation, and forward exchange contracts. Now, whenever we will talk about the foreign operation, it includes branches in foreign countries. Accounting standard 11 discuss foreign currency transaction and foreign operations. Whenever we will talk about the foreign operations, so we should know about the branches in the foreign countries. Now, foreign countries, suppose Tata company is a big company in our country. They have around 72 companies and branches in a different countries. Some branches are there in the European countries, African countries, then American countries also. So the branches spread over all over the world of the Tata company. Now, the main part is there. That is, there are two types of operations. There are two types of operation that we will discuss. First is integral foreign operation, and second one is the non-integral foreign operations. Integral foreign operations, non-integral foreign operations. Now, whenever we will talk about the integral foreign operations, it means dependent branch, and non-integral foreign operation means independent branch. Dependent branch, independent branch. Integral means dependent, non-integral means independent. Dependent branch means what? books of records maintained by head office. Such branch is called dependent branch, and it is called as a integral foreign operation. Independent branch means what? Books of record prepared by branch itself. It is not depend on head office. It is called independent branch. And whatever transactions, foreign operations are there, they are recording. It is called non-integral foreign operations. Integral foreign operations, non-integral foreign operations. Integral foreign operation means dependent branch. Non-integral foreign operation means independent branch. Yes, friends, any doubt, any question you can ask. कोणाला काय डाऊट आहे काय असेल तर तुम्ही मला लगेच सांगा. आपल्याला पुढे जायचंय. Yes, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
What about others? See that whatever I am sharing, that you should write in your notebook. मी तुम्हाला सांगणार नाही का हे लिहून घ्या. तुम्हाला वाटलं ते इम्पॉर्टंट आहे, यू शुड राईट. कारण प्रत्येक वेळेस आपल्याला तेवढा तुम्ही लिहून घ्या, हे करा असं मी सांगणार नाही. तुम्हाला वाटतं हे अरे हे खूप महत्वाचं वाटतंय, यू कॅन पुट इन युअर नोटबुक. ओके, तर मी आता काय म्हटलं, काय घेतलं ते तुम्ही रेकॉर्ड करा किंवा स्क्रीनशॉट घ्या किंवा तुम्ही नोटबुक मध्ये लिहिलं तर बरं होईल. It is very important because it is basic things that we are studying here. कारण बेसिक माहित असेल तरच आपण मोठे मोठे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करू शकतो. See friends, other things are open, even the malls are open, even trains also open for normal layman peoples. त्यामुळे आपलं कॉलेज सुद्धा ओपन होऊ शकतं. And we will conduct the offline lectures. Possibilities are there. And we will conduct offline exam also. त्यामुळे you should prepare. तुम्ही prepare राहायला लागेल. And we will not accept this objective questions papers. We will set the practical problem papers. तर त्यामुळे आपल्याला प्रॅक्टिकल प्रॉब्लेम स्टडी करावे लागतील. ओके, तर मी इथे स्टॉप करतो. मी परत
सर जर फर्स्ट पासून जरा शेअर करा ना स्क्रीन, पहिला जे शिकवले त्याच.
मी स्टॉप करतो, परत 5 मिनिटांनी येतो.
ओके सर.